strategies for political empowerment. Where are the others? I thought we're still rather sprinkling. Paul, you say we shouldn't wait, but
let's go.
We're not yet full house. Anyway, Beta, would you like to start?
Yes, it's possible. Thank you very much for invitation. Thank you, Paul and Jacob, for excellent assistance and logistic help. So, telling the truth, I had a serious problem with my presentation before our seminar, because on one hand, I was working in the project on gender equality and quality of life for a few years, and the final result was delivering of the new framework for gender equality policy in Europe. So I should promote this project, and I left some our leaflets, and I have few reports in English, because on the other hand I realized that we still use the same puzzle, good, useful, but in my opinion there aren't enough in the current situation. So in time of huge backlash, xenophobia, fundamentalism, as well as huge unprecedented women's protests in many countries, we need a new approach and new strategies which take into account new circumstances and profound transformation in relationship between citizens and state. Many feel that the existing power structure regulating society don't address the problems of contemporary world. Lack of trust in current political system is visible on all scales of political spectrum. In the same time, this situation is the inspiration for searching for new solutions. The city, as a lens, focus all those processes. Thousands of initiatives are centered around the slogan, "The right to the city." Based on my activism, research, and materials provided by feminist activists from different places, I would like to focus on gender dimension of those processes, which are called new municipalism. It has become increasingly popular a strategy that responds to the demands of deeper democracy and, I believe, effective gender equality policy. Platforms of female activists and ordinary citizens ruling numerous of cities, despite of their limitations, have shown the potential of transformation of politics. New municipalism distinguishes from traditional politics several issues. The first of all, the different political organization that reflects the diversity of the local and political landscape, rooted in local conditions and responsive to local needs. Second, open bottom-up and participative decision-making processes. Thirdly, a relatively horizontal organizational structure that determines the policy of elected representative. Fourth, the creative tension between those outside and within the local institution. Municipalism believes that institutions' capabilities depends on strong and organized social movements that put pressure on representatives. And finally, municipalities insist on the role of local government rather than reducing it to the last level of state administration. It sees it as a mechanism of self-government. Municipalism is a powerful strategy for various reasons. First of all, because of the real win we are able to show that breaking the current status quo is possible. In addition, most of the negative effects of neoliberalism affect us primarily at local level, just in cities. For example, speculation on the real estate market, privatization of common goods, or political corruption. Local institutions are the closest to people and therefore the best way to create active democracy, which goes far beyond the ability to vote in election every 4 years. The citizen, as co-creator, is a problem solver and co-producer of public good, far more than volunteer, voter, protester, client and customer. There is, however, one more argument for municipalism. It's the possibility of feminization of politics, which is significantly limited at state and international level. For the female urban activist, the feminization of politics is more than the increase of presence of women in institutions and the implementation of social policies that support gender equality. Feminization of politics, in addition, means change in the way politics work, means democratic transformation. Feminist policy emphasizes the importance of daily and interpersonal issues by breaking the artificial division into the private and public sphere and creating alternative emancipatory opportunities. Moreover, if the aim is the promotion of feminist mode of action, deepen democracy and strengthen civic engagement, cooperation, dialogue and horizontalism will facilitate the inclusion of all discriminated and marginalized people. On the table there are our film based on our working with disabled women in our city. We treat our research as a long process of advocacy and changes local politics. It's very important because yesterday I asked about efficiency of research on gender budgeting in a process of changing policy. So for us, this part, it's a part of our research. We try to avoid the situation that we suggest that results will be published in journals for 35 points, because we stress that implementation process is a part of our work as well. One of the limitations of national policies is their opposition against internal discord, their desire to control narrative top-down, willingness to lead a coherent project and centralization are in conflict with the diversity of the need of the inhabitants. Therefore, municipalism is turning diversity into its advantage, allowing for the articulation of political differences in a given local context. The organization of political diversity at local level, where people know themselves and share common goals, opens up powerful opportunities that are often overlooked. Politics doesn't aim at harmony or dissolving of all conflicts, but rather at negotiation of interest into action that avoids violence, that produce beneficial public outcomes. Politics, in this sense, is a dimension of every environment, not simply government. Feminization of politics means the introduction of horizontal decision-making process and new form of leadership. But while some state and regional organizations also try to include in the decision-making processes a social base, the scale itself doesn't allow for the efficiency of those processes, as is the case at city level. Also, when it comes to leadership, new municipalities promote collective models. For instance, Kurz, I interview female activists from Rojava. All senior posts have doubled for men and women at the same time. It prevents the concentration of executive power in the hands of men, but also the way in which this power is exercised. While